Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Demon Slayer. Can't wait. I'm so enjoying the show right now. If you're joining me early today, it means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much. As always, I'm sending you those big old hugs through the screen. Thank you so much for all you do. If not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, we've had a lot going on Demon Slayer. We've had a couple new characters that we've been dealing with, newer, and I can't tell you, like, how Zenitsu has kind of surprised me the last few episodes, like the whole thing with him protecting Nezuko and just taking the beating and everything. When we first saw him in his, like, thunder form a few episodes back, I thought he was going to be, like, really scared and anxious when he was not in that form, and then when he was in that form he would be like totally, you know, powerful and cool and all over it. And what I've seen is that even though yes, he is scared and anxious when he's not in his, like, what, I don't know what you call it, they haven't really talked about it ever since. But whatever you would call it, like, yeah, he's still scared and anxious, but the bravery is still there. Like what he did, like, just, and he knew it was a demon, but he knew how important it was to Tanjiro, and he was willing to do anything to protect the box and its contents. So that just, like, that won me over pretty hard with Zenitsu. Inosuke, who is our boar-headed guy, I still don't quite know what to make of him. He's pretty fun to watch, and I don't really know anything about him yet except that he is a demon slayer, and he's, you know, he's very, like, rawr. He's almost, to me, like, kind of the opposite of Zenitsu. He's, like, kind of, instead of being scared to do literally anything, he's kind of like, shoot now, ask questions later. So it's kind of interesting to see those two interact, even though they, like, it escalates so quickly with them. It can be like, oh my god, you two stop! Like, I feel like I have to mom them and be like, stop fighting! So, and then poor, you know, Tanjiro's just in the middle of all of it, and Nezuko. And so where we left off last time was, basically, I think Zenitsu thinks that Nezuko is Tanjiro's girlfriend, and that he's like, seriously, I put my life in the line so that you could have, like, your kissy time or whatever. And it's like, no, Zenitsu, you need to take a breath, and you need to let Tanjiro explain. And we also had an after, well, we always have the after credits, but last after credits was different. They were, like, all in school, and it was really super cute. And the guy from the first episode was, like, the teacher. So I'm like, are we going to see him again? What's going on there? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So without further ado, I say let's jump right in because I'm dying to see what's next. Really enjoying it. And I know from, they're not spoilers or anything, but I know from the comments that, like, one of the later teens episodes is a big episode, so I know I have some big stuff coming. So that being said, I really want to jump right in and see what's next. So let's do this. Next episode of Demon Slayer. Let's go! Oh, that was so good. Okay, so I have a lot to say about this episode. First of all, glad that they got past the little mishap that Tanjiro and Nezuko were together. It was very, very fun and cute to see Zenitsu, like, crushing on Nezuko, which I knew he was going to. Like, knowing what we know about him, I knew he was going to get a crush on her. But, like, that scene was so fun. You know, he's just chasing them both around. He's just being him. And, that was really, really fun. Nezuko's not into it. That is so funny. So at the beginning of this episode, I said a little bit about Inosuke and how I really don't know anything about him. And, well, like, we know a little bit about him, but we don't really know, like, his full backstory. And I think it's pretty interesting that, like, he is very, like, he just does these things, like, without thinking. But it's not that he's bad. Like, he honestly doesn't know anything about, like, their culture, manners. He kind of knows, like, fighting. And that seems to be about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll get more on him later. But it kind of seems like he almost has, like, this childlike naivety about... except that he's very perceptive and a very good fighter. So, like, he's not naive. He's just... I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, there is, like, a childlike... factor there. I like the little scene with him and Tanjiro where Tanjiro was like, hey, thanks for backing me up. I almost kind of hesitated and you helped me. And I just, like, got this feeling that that was the first experience that Inosuke's had with, like, real friendship. Could be wrong, but I think it's going to be very sweet to see all 4 of them together. We got a little bit of, and they flashed his name, and I know it starts with a G. Is it Giyu or Gia? I can't remember now. In editing, I'm sure I'll be like, oh, how could you miss that? But he came back, even if it was for a couple seconds in this episode. The girl with the butterfly on her head that we always see in the credits was there, and the guy with the crow that we saw way back when they first passed the test was kind of talking about the situation, like, I have to dispatch some more people, and so many of them have died. Very, very... So this brings me to my last point, which is very, very cool and interesting villain in this episode. Because, first of all, I don't do spiders. I don't do bugs. So it was very creepy to me. It did its job very well. Like, I was kind of like, Zenitsu, and then I was like, Zenitsu, you kind of got the right idea, bro. This is creepy. You don't want any part of this. But so we have the mom, I guess, literally pulling the strings, and the son in this family, I guess, comes out and is like, hey, just don't bother us. And it occurred to me, like, do demons have families? Is that a thing? We know from previous episodes that it sounds like they're mostly kind of kept apart. Like, they don't band up very much. So that's an interesting concept. I wonder how Tanjiro's going to feel about going in and having to be in this battle role with a family, considering what happened to his family. I think that touches on some really interesting issues, and I'm kind of wondering if they're just like a family just trying to get by. It could be more sinister than that. Maybe they're not just, but that kind of raises some interesting questions, because I love how we have yet to see, like, a really, aside from maybe Kibutsuji, like a black and white bad demon, like a demon who just seems to want to carry out evil. And even Kibutsuji, I wonder if I'm sure we'll get more on that. And like what his motivations are and what drives him and what his whole story is. But every demon we've seen has kind of had like a tragic past or like a tragic ending, a tragic death or something. And I'm very curious to see where they go with this. Kudos for the good storytelling. So very, very good stuff. Loving the character stuff. Loving the themes that they're bringing into play with the story at hand and everything. And I can't wait to see more. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you next time. Please join me. We'll watch it together. And I'll see you then, guys. Bye.